In this video, we're going to look at the now function within Excel. So I'm just going to click on a cell within my spreadsheet and I'm going to type equals and then now and then open and close brackets. When I press enter, what happens is it returns the date today. So today's date is the 4th of December 2017. So in this case, it's displayed it as 04/12/17. Now, if I open this spreadsheet up tomorrow, this will automatically update to tomorrow's date. And if I open it up next week, it will update to next week's date. And it does this automatically for us. We don't have to keep changing the date each time. So it can be a very useful feature for making sure you always have an up-to-date date in the spreadsheet for display purposes. But we can also use it for comparisons, and we'll come on to that shortly. Let's first of all look at how Excel handles the dates, because it's quite useful just to understand this for when we come and do some later calculations. So I'm just going to move my little box out of the way. So what I've got here is I've just created a formula that copies that date down here. So I've just basically duplicated what's in that cell. It's now being repeated here. So it's the same data, but I'm going to change the formatting for each of these options so that you can see what you can do. So first of all, I'm going to right click, format cells, and I'm going to change it to a number. Now, this is the way that Excel actually stores this date. It doesn't store it as the 4th of December 2017, it stores it as a number. And each number increases by 1 every single day. It starts at the 1st of January 19,000 and it goes forward by 1. So if I open this up tomorrow, whereas this currently says 43,073, tomorrow that would be 43,074. Now the bit that's after the decimal point is about the position within the day. So at the start of the day, at midnight at the start of the day, it would be 00. By noon, it would be 0.5 because it's exactly halfway through the day. And then at the end of the day, at sort of 11:59, it would go up to 0.99. Then at midnight, it would revert to 0, and the number before the decimal point would increase by 1. So that's how the actual date is stored. Now, we can display dates in different ways. So it doesn't matter how the date is stored, what you actually see can be varied. So I'm just going to right click, format cells, and I'm going to go to custom. Now here it says type and it says dd/mm/yy, and you can alter this. For example, if I put in HH, which stands for hours, and then colon mm, which stands for minutes, I can display the date and the time together. And again, in a few minutes time, you'll see that will increase to the new time as we make other changes. I'm going to do something similar with this cell. I'm going to format cells, and this time, where it says type, I'm just going to type the letter DDD. So if I have 3 Ds, what it will do, it recognizes that as the day function, and because I've got 3 of them, it's going to show it as the shortened version for Monday. So in this case, Mon. Similar, if I go to here and I do 4 Ds, it recognizes that as the full version, so it displays it as Monday. So if you wanted to display a date as the day, all you need to do is have the date field and then you just format it so it shows up as the day in either of the formats. And if you want the months to show up, then if I go to custom and I just go for MMM, if I had 3 M's, it would be the shortened version. You can see there in the sample it says DEC. If I go for 4 M's, it's the full version, December. So it's the same data. Each of these cells is containing the number 43,073 and a bit, but by displaying them differently, we can get it to display how we like. I often see people will create a spreadsheet where they'll have the date and the day as 2 separate columns, and then they will manually enter both bits of information. Well, you don't need to do that. You just enter your date in one of the columns. In the column for the day, you just do an equals and you just copy the date across and then you just format it to display differently. There's then no chance of you making any mistakes. So what can we actually do with our now function as a way of checking? Well, as I mentioned earlier, each date is stored as a single number. So if I do equals now, open and close brackets, and then I do +1, it will tell me the date tomorrow. So you can see today's date is the 4th of the 12th. It's worked out that tomorrow is the 5th of the 12th. If I did equals now, open and close brackets, -1, it will give me the date yesterday, so the 3rd of the 12th. And if I do equals now -7, then I'll get the date last week. And you'll see here it rolls into the last month. It knows that November has 30 days, etc. So it works quite nicely. So I can do very simple calculations. If I want to add dates on, or add a certain number of days on, or take a certain number of days off, I can do that by just simply adding 1 or whatever number I want. What I could also do, if I wanted to, is if I added on 0.5, it will show me the time in 12 hours time. So currently it's 11:04. In 12 hours time, it will show me the time at 23:04, if that was ever of use. So very useful little function, the now function, well worth getting to use, learning how to use, and using it when you're working with spreadsheets that involve dates.